Hiya, hiya. I'm here day after the Super Bowl. I didn't call in sick. The whole team should have called in sick. How can they take the most valuable player award and give it to a player on that awful Super Bowl yesterday, the toilet bowl? How could they do that? The most valuable player was the guy on the Game of Thrones commercial for, what is it, HBO? Is that it? This is the wrong time to be defensive, but that's what they were. Last night watching the Super Bowl game, watching two teams not letting anybody get a score, and that's the whole game, I guess, anymore. They call it great defensive, and even Tom Brady says I should have been more offensive. Well, you couldn't have been more offensive than to sit for 4 hours and watch that stupid game last night. I was totally offended. And then I'm watching these commercials, and everybody is black on the commercials now. They're trying to kiss up the blacks and kiss up the women. Now, wait a minute. Now, don't get this wrong. We're all the same. Even Martin Luther King wanted us to be equal. He wanted us to all have a shot at everything, not at him. But we wanted him. He wanted us to be. Listen, I was in that civil rights movement in the '60s, and this is about everybody having an equal opportunity, not one being bigger or better than the other. But the women have now. The advertising agencies take the women and make everything about women, and even in the sports. Now, okay, there's a place for everybody, and everyone should be whoever they want to be and do whatever talent they have and use it in a great country that allows you to be free to use your ability. And if you're good at one thing, it's going to make you very happy and you'll make some money. But if you're the best at it, you're going to absolutely be rich and famous. That's the way this country is, and wonderful. Except, let me tell you something. I even have my coffee black, all right? So let's not hear anything about this governor of Virginia. That's history. Whatever he did, if he did something wrong, he needs to apologize. And he doesn't think he did anything wrong. So there you go. You got to take that at face value. There's a lot of things that people in government do that are mistakes, and they need to say, I'm sorry. I worked in radio and television for 40 years of these years that I've worked. I don't think I've ever worked for anybody as a general manager or an owner who ever said, I'm sorry, or I was wrong. I never heard that from an owner. They never admit that. It's all part of posturing, In the Japanese, if somebody does something that's dishonorable, they kill themselves. The harakiri. I don't know if they still do that. But I think I don't want to see management do that. They've killed themselves in the ratings. And the ratings, what about the ratings? Well, let me tell you what's wrong with the music. Okay, here it is. The halftime game. Used to be, years ago, in a galaxy far away, when a song was good and it was a hit, every other artist would do it. You would find a sequence of artists doing the same song. And it was in all formats, whether it was eventually done by Johnny Mathis as an older person, or Mantovani, or done by Frank Sinatra, did the Beatles. The halftime songs were a one of a kind for one person and his friends, and that's okay, but it's not thrilling. And the thrilling thing is to have this great performance. Like, that's why Jersey Boys is a hit, because every song's a big hit. Every song got covered by every artist. So it's just a different world that we live in, and we have to adjust to it. However, I don't know why they use the word. I'm going to sound like Andy Rooney this morning, and maybe a little bit of George Carlin. But Andy Rooney, why do they call it gay? What's gay about it? It seems unhappy to me. Where's the gay part? It's Andy Rooney at his best, right? It should be called festive, maybe, but not gay. And they're using it as a common news word now, gay. That used to be a high school word. You say, well, he's gay or she's gay. We never said that about girls back then. We didn't know that girls were also gay. It's not that. It's that we really do not respect each other to begin with, no matter who we are. That's the issue. But how do we do it? Not by slamming anybody, but by acknowledging the existence of someone in their ability to add to the conversation or to the workforce or in your ability to perform a service. And we have so many talented, wonderful people in this country, and not everybody is going to be thinking the same. As you know, 350 million people, I think you're going to have a few different opinions. Like mine. Mine is, I just said everything I think. I believe that I wasted 4 hours last night. I should have hit the off button and adjusted the set. And I also want to say something else. I did a commercial for JetBlue. You should see that. It costs about $10 with everybody's help. And these multi-billion-dollar commercials are like over the top. And everybody's trying to top one guy over the other. Meanwhile, as a defense, speaking about defensive footballing, defensive TV watching, most people learn to ignore commercials. We have a tune out in our head to say, okay, and that Liberty Mutual one is the one that gets me. That's like Porky Pig. Liberty, that's all, folks.